Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Core Tech. My name's Garrett and it is officially 2018, so I figured it was the perfect time to take a look back at 2017, see what it brought us, and then look forward to 2018 and see what we can expect the year ahead of us to bring. But before we dive into the boring talking stuff, let's take a look at the shelves back here. We haven't done a shelf tour video in a very long time, so let's take a look. Well, first of all, this is what's on top of the left shelf. I don't think that's changed much since last time. We've got Claptrap over there. We've got the Batarang and Thor's hammer. And then of course you guys will have no doubtedly seen this in my most recent video. This is the dry reef section of my Slime Rancher collection. And if you guys are wondering about any of these videos, I will put a link down in the description to the full playlist so you guys can see all of these videos. And then of course right below that we have the full Slime Rancher collection. It has some of the extras in the back like the foods and stuff that I couldn't fit on this top shelf, but it has all of the base slimes that we've created so far. But I definitely think this has to be one of my cooler shelves just because of how full it is and how much we've been able to add to this shelf over time. Then let's check out the top part of the right shelf. We have R2-D2 up there and Wally, a couple of my failed robotics projects up there. And then here is the Pokemon shelf. Now this hasn't changed a ton. I have added a couple in there, like Hoot Hoot on the right side and Kafifi back there. I will be talking more about this shelf later in the video. Then the shelf right below them, we have Cuphead and Mugman. I'm not actually going to be turning this into a whole shelf. I just had space on this shelf. I didn't really have a theme going on, so I stuck them there because I'm actually pretty proud of how they came out. Then back over to the left shelf, we have the Rick and Morty shelf, and it doesn't look very impressive. I said that I was going to get to this last year. Obviously that didn't happen, but I will definitely be getting to more of this very soon. I actually have 2 more models completely printed for this and ready to be painted, so those should be coming very soon. The shelf below that is a very artistic collection of random junk that I used to film. So, yeah. Then down here on the very bottom, the very dusty Digimon shelf. I will be cleaning that dust up and adding to this collection as well. I'm pretty excited. I'm finally to a point that I think I can add some really cool things to this shelf, so look out for that if you're a fan of Digimon. And then back over to the right side, we have the Plants vs. Zombies shelf over here. I've got one more model to be adding to this very soon. It is actually sitting on the desk right over here, halfway painted, so it will be coming very, very soon. And I'm sure you can guess by looking at these 3 which one that is, and it's the Chomper. Below that we have the Beauty and the Beast shelf, and I've actually got another model printing downstairs right now to add to this shelf, and then we'll have a few more things in the coming months. And then this bottom shelf is just another kind of catch-all. I've got the plasma pistol over there, Chelsea's awesome 3D pen Baby Yoshi, and then just like my chess pieces, the South Park characters, and the Mario level. Just stuff that it's harder to display or doesn't look as cool, so I just kind of have it in a bag there if I ever need it. And I'm going to try to get Chelsea to make some more 3D pen stuff so we can have her own shelf up here. Then I actually added these this middle shelf here, and it was just something that we had around the house and weren't really using, so I put it up here so I could put some more of the random non-themed things up here. So the top shelf on here is the multi-material shelf. That's just a couple of things I've printed using the MMU, and there's some failed Bandit Kirby sitting over here. So I will definitely be adding more to this shelf as the year goes on. I've got stuff printing downstairs right now. And then we just get to the miscellaneous shelves. Of course we have the painted Babam there. We have a little bit of Aqua Teen Hunger Force going on here with Master Shake, and the Moonanites right back there. Of course we had Clank, still one of my favorite models. And then my first and really only original model, Lord Kavra. Then the next shelf down is actually one of my favorites. We have Kirby, which is my go-to test print when I'm testing out new machines. And then we have Chelsea's models right here, her little penguin, Super Meat Boy in the back there, and then her snowman. I absolutely love these things. They came out amazing. I'm going to have to get her to do some more ZBrush modeling. Then of course we have the super cute baby Dory right there, and then Sonic back there. The logo part of Sonic, I did have him on it, but it started to fall apart, so we need to do some gluing on there. So for the time being, he is just standing over here by himself. And then this bottom one was kind of a catch-all. I've got the Dragon Ball down there, the Citron, which I'm actually going to be redoing at some point, because I can model it a lot better now, so I'm planning on doing that. Then we've got Beck and Beemo right back there. Got the Bug Droid, he won't stand on his own, he keeps falling over, so I just laid him down. And then the Omni Droid. Doesn't actually fit on the shelf, but whatever. Okay, so that's where the shelves are as of January 2nd, 2018. I really hope to amp that up and fill out these shelves quite a bit more in 2018. But I'll talk more about that in a second. Before I talk about what we're going to be doing in 2018 and what you guys can expect from me, I want to look back real quick on 2017. Now, obviously, 2017 was a crazy year. The world is kind of a mess, and there's all the political stuff that's going on right now. But I don't want to focus on that. I just want to focus on the channel and looking back at what 2017 brought us. So when I look back at 2017 on the channel, I kind of have a mixed reaction to it. There are some very, very good things that happened in 2017, and there are some things that I wish would have gone better or wish that I could have done better in 2017. Like when I look at my body of work on YouTube in 2017, all the videos that I created, I'm not super happy with that. I think there could have been a lot more. There was something like 40-some 3D print videos where I create a model, print it, and Chelsea paints it, all that stuff. And I would have liked to see that number be a lot higher. And there were several points on the channel where there were long periods of time that I didn't upload videos. Like there's one stretch in there that's about 2 months long. And that was largely due to my mental state. You know, being someone who posts videos to YouTube and someone who tries to take that pretty seriously, I do a lot of research on people who make YouTube videos. And basically any big YouTuber that is willing to talk about their experiences on YouTube and the things they do to either create videos or deal with the things that come along with being a YouTuber, I will listen to that basically endlessly. That's the type of content that I search for. And so I knew that something like this was coming, and this is what a lot of people call the slump. So when you're starting out a YouTube channel, initially things are very new. You post a few videos, maybe they don't get any views, maybe they get a couple of views, and you're just kind of trying things out. Then eventually you end up posting that one video that gets a little bit more views than everything else you've got. You know, it's still not a lot by YouTube standards, but it's a lot compared to the rest of your videos. And you start to get some people interacting with your video. You start to see some comments. You start to see some new subscribers come in, and it's all very exciting. Things start happening. And that's really what 2016 was for me. But after that, maybe your channel stops growing as fast. Maybe it stops growing altogether. And who knows, it could still be growing. But at some point, you kind of look at your channel and you're like, okay, from here on out, to make this thing work, I just need to put in an assload of work. And that can be very difficult, and that's really what I struggled with this year. But there were a few things that really helped me get through that. Is one, listening to those YouTubers talk about that period in their career and how they got through it, and knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel as long as you're determined and persistent. You know, trying to fight off the negative thoughts, you know, thinking maybe that you're not good enough, or that maybe those few comments that were very negative were right, you know, that maybe you should quit, things like that. Those types of thoughts don't enter my mind very often, but you have to know how to deal with them when they come. And then there was also sort of the creative side of it. You know, some of you may know, but I have a day job. Most small YouTubers still have a day job because YouTube is not bringing in enough money to support yourself. So YouTube is just something that I do for several hours every night. And in my day job, I am a computer programmer. So I write code and things like that, and everything is very scientific. There is some creativity in how you write code, but if you're ever not feeling that creativity, you can just go and do some database work, some trivial type work to still be productive during that time. But when creating art, like these 3D models that I create, or even the videos that I create, the filming and editing process, stuff like that, it's all very, very creative. And there's not really a lot of stuff that you can do just to power through when you're not feeling it. And that's what I struggled with the most, is there was just periods of time where I didn't feel anything. I was sort of depressed. I was very anxious. And I just couldn't bring myself to film a video. I couldn't bring myself to edit a video or to even work on models or anything like that. And it started getting in the way of uploading. But there were quite a few videos that I watched that helped me kind of get through that. And there's one that stood out in particular, and I'll put a link to it down in the description or up in the eye in the corner. And that is by Katelyn McCaigue. I'm sure some of you know her. I did a collab with her a few months ago, and that one was really cool. So I'll also put a link to that video down there. But during October, she was doing Inktober, where she draws using paper and ink all month long. In each of those videos, she had different topics that she talked about, and one of those was about motivation and sort of that creator's block or whatever. And she talked about how motivation can be a good and a bad thing. She'll say it a lot better than I could, so make sure you watch her video. But it basically came down to not relying on motivation to create things. You know, for the longest time, I was trying to give myself motivation to do something. I thought I was doing something wrong, that I wasn't motivated to do something. So I was focusing on the motivation part, trying to do things that would get me motivated to work. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But what she talked about was not relying on the motivation and just having the drive and the determination and the work ethic to get through that, even though you're not feeling creatively inspired. And that really, really spoke to me. And I don't know why I hadn't even considered that before. I guess I had just always thought the motivation was the thing that drove you. But I tried to take that to heart. And so I ramped up. I moved it to trying to do 2 videos a week. And I didn't always hit that, but a lot of times I did. And it actually kind of works the other way around. If you have the drive and determination to push through those times when you're not motivated, a lot of times the motivation comes from that. And it's really quite an amazing feeling. So towards the end of 2017, I really just got in the mindset that I need to do the work. I need to buckle down. I need to spend a couple of extra hours every night. I need to use my time more efficiently. And I can really just buckle down and create. So 2017 ultimately was a crazy roller coaster ride that took me from the high of starting to get a channel that's growing to a little bit of a slump, and then right back out of that towards the end of the year. But man, it was a rocky ride. But that's not to say that 2017 was all bad, because when I look back at 2017, at the beginning of the year, I didn't know how to use ZBrush. I didn't know how to use Adobe Premiere. I had barely streamed, and there were just a lot of little things that I have improved upon this year. 2017 really was the year of learning new things for me, because I went from using CAD programs and a little bit of sculpting in Fusion 360 to completely using ZBrush. That was a very hard transition, and it took me a lot to learn it. But now 90% of the stuff I create is in ZBrush, and I'm even starting to move on to some of the more advanced techniques in there. And I'm having a ton of fun doing it. And I've really tried to focus on learning how to craft videos better. I used to treat videos sort of as just a delivery mechanism to get the cool little object that I made to you guys, but I'm really starting to try to treat them as their own product, because ultimately the videos have to be enjoyable to watch. So I'm really working on trying to tell the story a little bit better and just improve everything there. And I think I came quite a bit of ways in 2017. I think you can tell my videos have gotten quite a bit better from the early days of 2016. So with 2017 over, and we are now firmly in 2018, let's look forward a bit and see what is to come on the channel. First of all, lots and lots and lots of models. I'm actually going to end this video with a little sneak peek, sort of, at what specifically you can be expecting from the channel in terms of models. But before I get to that, the one big thing I'm going to try and focus on in 2018 is refinement. I think I have a lot of the base skills that I need to do a lot of what I'm trying to do on the channel. But it's all kind of sloppy, it's all kind of thrown together, and I would just like to be a lot better. So I'm just going to take the foundation that I have so far and build upon it. I'm going to try to improve my modeling, make the detail on those models better and more defined, venture into more advanced techniques like hair and fabric and more organic things like that. And then I'm really going to focus on the videos themselves and trying to be better at filming, trying to be better at editing, and trying to just be better at knowing, sort of being a director of the video, trying to craft the video from start to end to make it a more enjoyable watching experience, because I think that's one of my biggest weak points right now, and I would really, really like to be better at that. I'm also really hoping to grow my Twitch channel, just because I really, really enjoy streaming, and I think it's a really fun thing that we do every week, and my models are starting to come out of those streams, and it's just really, really cool. So I'm going to put a lot of effort into that as well, but my main focus is going to be the YouTube channel, and more specifically, the 3D model videos. So I'm going to try to continue the 2 videos a week thing. Some weeks I'll be too busy and won't be able to get 2 videos, but I definitely want to have at least 1 video a week. Most weeks I hope to have 2 videos, and who knows, maybe some weeks I'll even have 3 videos, depending on what's in the pipeline at the time. So let's get into a little more specifics about the models. I feel like I'm at a point that I can amp up the scale of my models quite a bit. Now, that can be kind of confusing, because I don't mean that I'm going to print huge models. That doesn't mean that I'm going to print hyper complex models. There will be a little bit of both of those worlds, but there are a lot of things that I've wanted to do on the channel, but I have not been skilled enough to create the models for. And I feel like I'm getting very close to the point that I can do that. Like there's a lot of anime characters from animes that I love. There's a lot of video game characters, more human type characters that I would love to create and create little statues of. That's something I would really, really like to do in 2018. I also really want to get back into electronics, maybe not necessarily robotics. There will be some of that, but you know, just lights and a couple moving parts here and there, I think could be really, really cool. And then, of course, there's going to be some big projects, and that means big in size. I've got one coming up hopefully very, very soon. It's actually printing, if you can hear the printer behind me, on a very big print that is going to be very cool. And I hope to share that with you before the month is over here. And then I've got lots and lots of other crazy big ideas that I want to get done this year. And another thing I'd really like to do is start creating some of my own original characters. Now, this probably isn't going to come super quickly, and it won't like take over. I will always do characters like I'm doing now from popular TV shows, games, things like that I enjoy, that I'm genuinely a fan of. I will always do stuff like that unless for some reason copyright stuff gets in the way, but I doubt that'll happen. But I would like to start sprinkling in some of my own original characters into there, and that means trying to draw them, concept them out, and maybe even craft somewhat of a backstory so I have some context for what and who this character is. So I think that could be something that's very fun, and I hope to sort of do that thing in 2018. And then last, but certainly not least, I hope to just be better for you guys. Like I said, 2017 was kind of a rough year, but I feel like I'm kind of on the upswing. These past few months have been very, very good. And December was a very, very busy month for Chelsea, so that's why the channel's been a little lacking in December. But I have close to 10 models fully printed and ready for her to paint, and another 5 that are being printed, and then another 5 even from there that are in the process of being modeled. So I have a ton coming at you. I hope you guys enjoy what's coming up. I'm very excited to make this year happen, and I truly think this is going to be a big year for us as a community and for the channel as a whole. So thank you for coming along with me on this crazy ride. Thank you for putting up with my crap when I don't post videos, and when I make 20-some minute long videos like I'm sure this one is already. So if you made it here, you rock. I really do appreciate it. I promise to you guys, I'm going to make those shelves explode. Alright? Not physically explode, but like I'm going to put a lot of stuff on them. Yeah, you guys got me. Alright guys, thank you very much. And until next time, keep creating.